There we go. My lovely dears, welcome back to another, in fact, the returning session of World of Darkness Vampire the Requiem. We are into our second season. We're beyond a fresh, shiny time skip. It is now the 27th of November, 2018. Vampire friends have been left to their own devices in order to accomplish some of their longer term goals, or set them up in positions to receive new ones. When last we left off, our original party was somewhat splintered by the revelation that Timothy Lee, possessed of Strixie powers, attempted multiple cases of diablerie, including the attempted diablerizing of a member of the Seven. Not only that, a member of the Seven who was, gosh, I forget his name.
Ailish McCavity.
That was it. Ailish McCavity, the Invictus Thorn Knight with the missing legs. He did, in fact, happen to be a man with knives. Yeah. In the wake of these events, the identity of the Seven agent was snuffed out, and instead that blame was put on one of the Invictus's many vanished victims. Indeed, to anyone but our group here, the real Seven member was the Baron, an expert marksman, known particularly for killing the Invictus and being trans-crone, very much in the awkward area of the gender lines, as it were. He committed lots of acts of blood sorcery, and they were not famous for that. Sorry, he was not very well favoured for that. In the wake of this, Timothy was put into torpor, and now might not even be in torpor, awake as he is through the atrocities that are the dragon's experiments upon him. He is a rare example of, well, a shadow sorcerer in the first place, which is already quite interesting to them, let alone a shadow sorcerer that ate a Strix. In the wake of that, we have two new companions, but before we introduce them, we have still got with us Darian DCL, Gideon Riviere, and Rose, although Rose has gone through a makeover. Looking very posh now.
The last remaining OG cast member.
This is true.
I just got a cool jacket to go over my suit. Fine.
Yeah, it's all good.
Did I finally manage to squeeze you into a suit?
Had one. We've been over this.
No, but a good suit.
I had a good suit.
Yeah, Tim got it for him.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the last kind act of Timothy Lee. Well, probably not the last one, but, you know, such as is the way. But in order to make sure that everyone is properly acquainted, we're going to introduce some people and reintroduce those that were in the end of last season. But we'll start from left to right. Az, would you like to introduce yourself?
I am playing Angelina Weiss, a German vampiress. She was embraced in the mid-18th century, and at some point during her tenure in Europe was ennobled as a baroness. However, in the 1930s, she was torpored, and during her torpor, migrated. She woke up a few months ago and has been acquainting herself with the edges of the San Pasado Elysium.
Wait, Germany did what while I was asleep? Again?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that might have been an interesting revelation. Especially since one of the first things you might have even noticed when you're looking through like old documents of German history, you're like, wow, fuck, some of these uniforms are very snappy. Oh, I can't use them. Okay, and next, Lily.
I am still playing Rose Lawson, who is sort of a hybrid now. She started off an Apollinaire, but now she's got bits of Botticelli in her. She is very much still a thief, but she also runs a nightclub called Safe Word, which is open to all sorts of supernatural people, primarily werewolves and vampires.
Excellent. And DCL.
I mean, it's me, but with a sword, so it's even more insufferable.
It's your boy.
It's your boy DCL.
It's your boy, Guzma.
All I can think now is every time Nick started a stream, it's your boy, Skinny Penis.
Yeah, that sounds like something Nix would do.
Yes.
I totally employ Darian as a sometime bouncer too.
Whenever he's not being a badass shepherd, of course.
It took a while before everybody was afraid of the skinny black kid. He had to throw some people over his shoulder a few times.
Oh yeah, no,
More
you
people heard
definitely
the
it
message.
definitely took having to shank a bitch one or twice or thrice dozenfold.
And
It's
of
a lot
course,
easier after the first 10 times.
Yeah.
you have a quote-unquote day job as a starving artist.
Very much in like an
Has
invisible
Darian
day
not
job.
given that up yet?
I mean, if we're talking about 2018 and the events are mostly the same on that front, I'm actually not dying now.
Very fair. Alright, and Rem.
I am Gideon de la Riviere. I am a Nosferatu of the Order of St. Martin bloodline. I was, well, not sure if you need to know all that. That's just rehashing old information.
Yeah, go on.
I was torpid back in the, well, oh boy.
1592.
Thank you. I was torped back in 1592, and I am a Knight of the Invictus, and I currently run a tailor. I am a tailor. This is my cover.
Mhm.
Who makes some of the finest suits.
We
With
also have a butcher,
reinforcement.
a baker, and a candlestick maker.
Look, the tunnels leading into the city sewers is, we don't talk about those.
Mhm. And last up, a new addition to the group as a whole would be Hedra. Please introduce your character.
Hi ho. I am playing Saul Wexler. Oh shit, cat animation. Sorry. Cat wanted puddles. I'm playing Saul Wexler, a Malakusian accountant working for the Invictus.
Excellent.
Not so much to say other than he comes from old money and has handled and is handling older and old money. Like there's new money, older money, and then we got the vampires up here.
Excellent.
And yes, so and
Which
he's one
I was just about to say, which category does the Italian Renaissance fall under?
older.
Okay.
That's the older money.
Very fair.
Yes, and other than he's a very prim, proper, and quiet accountant, which specializes in doing his job, finding information, and being quiet because, well, vampires have quite a superior hearing compared to humans, so unsettling, loud noises is just such a bother.
Yep. Excellent.
Ah.
So, time has passed, quite obviously, and people had their goals to accomplish. As Rose has mentioned, she now has a bar. I'm going to take everyone over to the
A
city
club.
map. A club. Called the Safe Word. Is located.
Just safe word.
Called Safe Word, sorry. Located in the upper right portion of the map. Not too far from pack territory. Quite close to like student bars, that kind of thing. It's a popular place. It's doing quite well for itself. In order to acquire this club, she received a reasonable sum of money, but had to do still a few side jobs, definitely among the larcenous kind. Now then, during this time, Lily,
Mm-hmm.
during these jobs, you pissed off one person and you pleased another person. Technically, they are unrelated to you. It's going to be your job to make up who those people are. They can be humans, they can be vampires, they can be some kind of other splat. But during one of your jobs, something either went very wrong or very right.
Oh shit.
I'll leave that to you to figure those out.
Yeah, you'll have to give me.
Yeah. DCL,
Yeah.
you took Timothy's position as the assistant directly to the bartender. You have not been knighted in and of yourself. It kind of goes against the whole objective of being a shepherd if you then put a title on yourself that is not I kick everyone's ass if they go out of place.
Mm-hmm.
You have an unofficial knighthood, but not something you have natural access to. You have had the chance to improve your reputation, and people finally don't like just treat you as an unknowing youngster, but you've had to actually like form a reputation and get a little bit involved, although you've done your best to stay aloof of it. During your time, there is someone whose life you saved, and there is someone nasty who got away. Again, these can be humans or vampires or any other splat. It's your job to think of these two people.
I was about to say Bill from accounting, then I realized we're about to get an accountant.
It's not Bill though.
It is a Saul.
It's not
Dickon.
Bill. Yeah.
Indeed, Saul is someone you had better call. Gideon, you
Yes.
have gotten progressively more hip with the times and the way of life. You know, styled up a little extra amount. You have, in fact, gotten your hands on a cane sword. It's quite nice. It is edged in silver. Handle is pure angry elephant. And you, of course, started up your business, tailoring suits for sophisticated people. Indeed, in some cases, suits that can stand up to things like gunfire or proper stabbing, whilst not sacrificing appearances. During this time, there is one important person who your suit has saved, and there is a rival whose business you have snubbed. It's going to be your job to think of who those two people are.
Wonderful.
Now then, during the process of, in particular, Rosa's jobs, Darian's jobs, and a situation where Gideon had to be pulled in just as a little extra muscle to make sure that things didn't go wrong, they needed information from someone. There was let's say a jeweler, or so appeared to be a jeweler, who was performing atrocities. And in order to locate them, the easiest way was to follow the money, so as it were. For this, you came to Saul Wexler. At the time, he proved competent and generally got you all along the right track. Resolved this issue quite neatly alongside you all. Since then, Saul has been nearby enough that he's been adjacent to some of your more complicated investigatory issues. Less so direct ass beatings you've been called in. Now, Saul. This jeweler, sadly, got away. It will be your job to make up who that jeweler is. They went to ground and they haven't showed up since, and that was months and months ago by this point. Is that okay?
Okay, done.
Okay, cool. And
Just
Angelina.
PM it to you.
Yes, you're welcome to do so. Angelina,
Yo.
in your case, you were one of the people who were originally assisted by this group, Saul included. And this is because someone had been hunting you. It might have been indeed over some kind of imagined slight. They weren't a werewolf, and they weren't a vampire, and they certainly weren't human, though. After assisting you in dispatching this individual, you've, had more reasons to hang around them as they've started to, do that gradual feel of building a coterie together. Your job is making up what kind of monster was hunting you and why.
Alright.
And those are your little bits of homework. In the meantime...
Can I have a handout to scribble in for that?
Sure. Hunted Angelina. Edited by Mers.
Thank you.
All players can see it. I'll be putting it... I'm going to cram it inside jobs since it was a job at the time. Okay. Likewise, if anyone else wants a handout to say, happy to do so.
I don't think I'll need a handout.
Excellent. Very well. Now, time has obviously passed here in San Posado. I'm going to jump you guys back over this original page here. Seasons still operate as you expect, and considering we're in the, autumn, winter months, you have quite a lot of nighttime hours to work with. That's always quite useful. But we now have a new thing, and it's called the City Effect. It could last for months, it could last for a simple case of sessions or days, but this is just like a pall over the whole city, be it something that's in the realm of spirit or shadow, or just a reflection of people's general mood as it shifts through the seasons. Right now, that City Effect is the Shroud of Darkness, a simple uneasiness, and anyone who attempts to lash out with their beast, in this case, will have 2 less dice when they do so. Everyone is just a little bit more subdued and less aggressive than they usually would have been. This will change as I say it, but any old time. We will try our best to remember it as things go along.
I'm slightly sorry. I was spaced out because I had a good idea for the rival, and I PM'd you that.
That's fine. Alright, I will go through those as time goes by. Now, the session is not in and of itself going to be a massive one because I just want to get everyone together and underway and involved in something. And I need to know what kind of things your group gets itself involved in. Obviously, it's all well and good at all being improv, but I need starting points. And the group dynamic is something that continuously shifts, and in this case, it's never been more different. As Lily pointed out, she's the only original member left, and even she's gone through an image change and a situation change.
Well, a little self-centered. I at least have an idea in the form of the rival I posted. I guess that would be popping the bottle a little too early on that.
Yes, what I want to do is unpleasantly surprise you with your respective revelations, much for my own amusement and to keep you nervous about the enemies you have created on my behalf.
He would not be an enemy I'd get my hands on anytime soon, but he could be an enemy that would give me a quest hook, actually.
Indeed. Whether you know it or not.
Well, outside of that, so since the party has mostly been composed of Rim, DCL, and Third, well, Rose, I would guess a lot of our stuff would have to do with just like scouting and recon, and then maybe the rare occasional strong arming.
Okay, okay.
I will teach you how to enact the Invictus's will.
Oh, he's been...
Yeah, how about no?
Yeah. Of course, much to
How
my
about
delight.
a little bit
Rose is
closer
a
to the
guardian.
microphone?
Yeah, DCL would basically be like, Rose, come on, please. I really need your help with this one.
As long as you're not asking me to do something weird.
Of course, nothing weird.
No,
Keep
Yeah,
the little man down, you know.
yeah, unfortunately, doing the weird things is my job. So, you know.
Bad stuff and other types of assorted bad stuff.
Don't ask me to do anything weird. I just own a BDSM sex club
Totally normal.
filled
Yeah.
with vampires and werewolves.
And
That
the-
is normal for a vampire.
Yeah.
Not the werewolf part,
werewolf
but
part is not, but...
I mean, as a vampire, you get like a pair of latex pants as soon as you change.
It's
Leather.
true, it does
It's
come
true, like,
standard
it's usually
issue.
leather.
It's leather, not latex. Because everyone
becomes
knows that
standard issue.
vampires don't sweat, so latex is generally like not a good move.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
either
raw.
Either way, might be I don't know. Yeah, I would mostly just be looking for jobs to do, or since they would be the close friends who might know, I might be going around trying to collect secrets.
Okay. Sounds like the kind of thing the bartender, obviously, if she can utilize you to collect information the Invictus can use to blackmail people, she'd always appreciate that, of course.
I mean, I collect secrets for her, and then I also collect secrets for myself.
Well, what vampire doesn't do a little bit of self-service? It's kind of the expected thing, frankly.
Yeah. At this point, I would still be trying to come off as unassuming while gathering information in the background. Not because I have any plot, but because it would serve as leverage if the time ever came up.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And what kind of future work do you guys as a whole... This, I suppose, is more of an out-of-character question. Like, what do you want to experience? Did the investigation angle work for you? Would you like to get involved with, like, gangs and organizations? Like, we've never touched the Megacorp, and they've got some shady shit that goes on that might be interesting. I have no idea. The Brides of Dracula returns soon, which means that there'll be a fresh influx of strangers and artifacts. Obviously, the running theme is always going to be protecting the Masquerade. Like, that's how this, operates. It's what you're often called on. But what are you guys interested in doing?
I definitely want to do anything that encourages going forward with a mask, so I can get more use out of my obfuscate ability and expression.
Yeah.
Heists would be fun.
Heists?
Heist would be fun.
Okay. Make a little old note thing for myself.
We have to steal the Ankaran sarcophagus.
The who, what, how?
It's the plot from Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Yeah, that
That game
had
you
you going.
play.
Yeah, that you going everywhere.
Trying to get the fucking sarcophagus for
This computer games.
no
with lots of
discernible
brain.
reason.
They didn't want you to get the sarcophagus juice, man.
Of course. You don't want to... No, you eat them like jerky. Oh, damn it, I wanted to eat that mummy.
Yeah. Everyone's
one's
afraid like it might
tasty.
contain an antediluvian, and it's just a
It's
fucking
teriyaki flavored.
Here's the thing, though. People were actually eating mummies before it was a cure-all during the 1700s.
Oh yeah, and for some vampires, maybe that habit's stuck. Except for the fact that mummies are, well, they're dangerous as fuck
Yeah.
as a splat.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
terrifyingly powerful.
I also
At least that's only a very specific kind of mummy.
I'm also for the idea of trying to put down upstart organizations that act outside the Elysium.
Okay.
I think last time when we talked about it, we had expressed an interest in like more of actual like political maneuverings. At least I know DCL and I had.
Indeed. I will be making like proper politically charged handouts, such as it were, so that you can do things like record secrets and useful information that you guys learn. But besides getting involved in these politics, do you have an interest in actually rising up the ladder, or are you doing it for security? Because that will impact the kind of works you're interested in taking on.
What's the difference?
I am doing it wholly for security.
The higher you climb, the larger your back looks for sticking a knife in.
Exactly. Which is why I've stayed low but prepared a big stick.
Rose has no interest in rising up the ranks. She is
Not
a
into
free
the
agent.
challenge of your rivals?
Yeah, she is a free agent. Like
Good for her.
she doesn't want to get into the political scene. She wants to remain mostly independent.
If anything, I would think the better idea would be like having a small group or political group that's above trying to gun for us, because it's just like, yeah, we need to push aside this group of upstarts. They're not like too massively powerful, and obviously we're useful, so they have to be sneaky about it.
Okay.
Money.
Money, 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 money.
No, I mean money.
Money, motherfucker.
Like a shitload.
That's why I said money
dosh.
so many times. Seriously.
Spent at least
So
some money.
much.
You gotta get money.
Okay, so tell me again exactly how much you get paid.
Don't ask.
You just see a number that's just, it's when an integer gets too high in the display and it collapses, she makes 4 AE00 money.
Just I squint.
It's always possible.
No, I figured acquiring massive amount of truckloads of cash and then setting up like Fortress Maximum would be a plan.
Alright, so you would like to try and acquire independent wealth. I take it that you don't want this money in and of itself tied to the Elysium? Like
No,
you literally
like,
want it to be your dosh?
That's be my dosh because it ties into my bloodline of
Get money.
wanting wanting my own fucking place.
Yeah.
I just want to be.
Sure thing.
I just want
Well,
to be
I've been
vampire.
doing accounting for like 400 years already. And
Oh yes.
Now you want your cut.
Now, yeah, you've made it to the modern era now. There's never been a better opportunity to set yourself up in a position of not exactly power, but independence. Sure.
I want to be
Yeah.
I just want to be vampire cop.
Of course, vampire. Do you have an interest in murder mystery?
That could be fun.
They're alright.
Dayite?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Not against them.
Okay.
For me, it would decide how it's framed. The deciding factor would be how it's framed, like who's murdered and who's involved and how is it going to be solved.
That's fair. For instance, we've got there's still some old villains, such as the Stillborn Killer. Like it would be along that kind of theme.
Yeah, I'm less against like I'm more along the lines of like I don't know how to explain it. I don't want like the usual, who killed Mr. Jenkins, and it's just like I don't know. Try to put into words.
You don't want to Scooby-Doo it.
Actually, no, because Scooby Dooing is fun. It's just it's just I don't know. I guess make the ramifications feel a little bit more official.
You
Like
you don't want
CSI.
to Law and Order it. You want to
Maybe.
Scooby Doo it.
No. I want a Law and Order and Scooby. Okay, so I want a Law and Order it in like scale and operation. I just don't want to Scooby Doo it in like victims. Like, okay, let me actually put my words into appropriate.
Okay. But now I'm going to note that down as zoinks.
Yeah, just note it down as like.
You want the victim to be, or the like perpetrator to be important, not just like find out who murdered Steve the hobo.
Yeah, it's generally what I'm going for. You know, I want to continue being the plucky band of like freelance detectives, but at the same time having
you
like,
want the stakes to be high for for the people concerned.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that way it's not like just like, oh, we just need to figure out who killed it. It's like we need to figure out who killed it and then figure out a way to actually make them face consequences because they're powerful. You know.
Yep. So high stakes zoinks, that's fine, that's in there. Now, your splat exposure. Primarily, you're going to be dealing with vampires and humans, very obviously. Will you ever get involved with other kinds? So, there were geists, there's a geist that you've, like, ever met. There are definitely fae around, but people very much recommend avoiding them. There is independent mercantile wizards, mages.
Everyone's welcome but safe word as long as they follow the rules of the establishment.
Okay, so you have easy access, I suppose, to the mysteries of other splats.
I would almost want to make the joke that DCL was feeling like hot shit with his combat abilities until he got into an argument over Yvonne of whether Smash is a real fighting game or not.
Yeah.
And he got humbled.
Yeah, you got to find out fucking werewolves in a nutshell, and you're like, wow, this guy is a walking cheat character.
I'm just gonna stick to fucking with vampires, man.
What an absolute unit.
The fucking size, the lad.
Jesus Christ, he looks like if you maxed out all the size sliders on a video game creator.
Even
Oh.
his jaw.
He's the
All the
cube.
size of this mad lad.
He's the Giga Cow.
It's fine. I kicked his ass in Dragon Ball Fighter Z, so you know I took the win that
You
mattered.
took the real win. I mean, luckily that arm grew back, right?
Right, exactly.
Of course,
Okay.
you had, like bullshit
But-
characters.
At least for me, I would prefer just to keep it to vampires, but that's specifically because I'm Kendrick fighting, so you know, bias there.
Sure, well that's only if you're fighting people.
Yeah.
I can always angle it so that your exposure to other splats isn't going to be down to entirely violent confrontations. So
I mean,
we can tweak things in that direction. I might occasionally surprise you with it, but the general idea is that I want to do things that are in your group's general wheelhouse.
mostly dealing with vampires and maybe occasion, as you were saying, getting hints of other splats in the setting, or just like a little surprise of, oh, a vampire isn't supposed to have that kind of power. What the hell was that? Would be kind of neat every now and then.
Because I could have fun with like, you know, outside splat. Oh, I guess this would be more fun for me. I don't know all the splats, but everybody else does.
Don't worry, I actually only know the ones that I took a genuine interest in, which is a handful at best.
Like having
Of course,
a
if
murder
people
mystery
want me
where
to.
I know them
Like-
out of character, not in character.
Yeah.
like if the murder mystery was, oh hey, there's this weird guy killing things, and we need to figure out what he is and how to stop him before we fight him, because otherwise we'll just get aced. That's my version of fun.
Okay, sure. Okay then. So these are the general themes of stuff. Let's just set this player viewable. Nope. Yeah, all the important ones are in there.
See, I'm super sad because I would love if like I never got into a fight, if I got to like wave my dick around going like, you know, I can like just fucking cut you up if the moment calls for it.
I mean, you
Unfortunately,
spent your downtime developing that kind of a reputation, so you'll probably be able to.
Yeah, but I don't have like any stats to back it up since that's presence, and I got 1 dot of that.
I mean, stats are one thing. Again, you said it yourself. You wanted your reputation to become something that was essentially, I'm kind of ass kicky now, and people actually recognize me as a serious fucking beater. Maybe it
Yeah.
will be that someone who doesn't know the Elysium would force you to roll, and because your presence is low, you wouldn't succeed, and hey, a fight happens. But like, fucking Elysium people know that you're a scary son of a bitch now.
Yeah. I would say it's obvious that like big, powerful political people are just like, huh, I don't care. Because if you fight me, even if you did win, you would be in trouble. And also, I'm old and could kick your ass still. But, like mooks and lower and like on the ground people.
It's true that I have made elders much scarier in this game than a book makes them, because much like a lot of RPGs, when a character reaches a certain amount of experience, they're already throwing around like incomprehensibly high series of dots or abilities at shit. Despite,
figure that's
no
because-
matter how fucking young they are.
I figure that's because most elders just like sit on their ass and chill. And then it's just like, since you're the chosen adventurers, you're getting into a world-threatening event every week. You know, it's the difference between waiting for Goku to show up and Goku going through every fucking villain of the week.
Right.
Well, the thing with elders is one of the big threats is not even mechanical.
Yeah,
It's all the favors and like blackmail they've accrued over the years so that they can manipulate everyone else.
Yeah, it would be political power, because if you can maybe kick one elder's ass in a fight, but he's got like 12 different other elders who are going to come to bat for him.
It's true. Yeah, in that it's the I'll fight your representative, you fight my representative, and it's like, don't worry about it. Even when we start losing, I'm just gonna tell like everyone to jump on him anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
I'd rather be the big stick who gets trumped by fucking just political maneuvering.
Of course.
Of course,
Oh, God.
elders should still be badasses because they're elders.
They are. Some are very. Some are
Yeah.
very dangerous, killy elders, but a lot of them, their dots are in things that got them to being elders in the first place, like their politically centric, or their social skills, or their like lots of like ghoul-based powers is also a pretty big one for like a large number of these elders.
Yeah,
because
vampire-
they have a power force. Although speaking of, Rose, you have like a bunch more ghouls now because they work at SafeWord, yes?
I'm not sure if I'm gonna ghoul like all of them. Maybe like 1 or 2.
I believe it was written in. You have you've got create more ghouls in your downtown
Yeah.
so you've at least collected a handful.
The trustworthy ones.
Of course. Did you ghoul Emma in the end?
If she wanted to, if she was down for it.
Yeah, she was probably down to clown.
I will explain the effects of ghouling. You
Oh,
know,
of course.
including the what's it? The blood bond.
Of course. The vinculum and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, if I ghoul you, you're gonna become super devoted to me. But you get like awesome magic powers and suspend your age. And I mean, we already are, we're already fucking. Or, we're already in a relationship anyway.
Sure.
Hello?
Hello again.
Hello. Did something happen?
Yeah, my internet was dying.
Oh.
Yes.
Make up 2 other ghouls. You can pop them in there and add some details. You want to give each of them a specialty or some kind of vampire power that they've learned, then go for it. I can't remember which one you taught Etienne again.
She's got dominate.
That was it.
How much EXP was it again to get a discipline outside of your clan?
4.
Ah.
It is.
Okay.
Although there is someone in the Elysium who can help you get certain types of out of bloodline abilities.
Yeah.
At one less EXP, but you have to drink their blood.
Mm, mm.
And given that for half of the out of clan ones you have to drink someone else's blood anyway, it's
It's
not
pr-
really that
it's
big a
probably
step.
yeah, it's probably the best deal I'll get.
Oh,
I'll trust in my resolve and composure when the time comes for that. Then I suppose.
Yes,
I was,
you would know this individual, Lily.
yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm eyeing that
I like
celerity
her.
real hard.
she's very cool. She now actually has a place in the Elysium and will get properly introduced now that her details are more thoroughly in.
I just remembered something. I had to have a teacher for Majesty.
That is correct. Your teacher for Majesty. Give me a moment because I wrote them up at some point.
I'm pretty sure all my EXP went to professional training. I don't think I had that before.
Sounds about right. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, okay. Their name is Iris. They are a Deva vampire and a Majesty expert. Now, you actually just owe them favors
Okay.
at this point in time. Which, you know, owing Deva's favors, not a surprise, as it were.
Like,
Rose owes Devas.
Do I know what kind of bloodline they are?
You're welcome
If
to
any.
make it up if you want, if you would like.
There's a lot of good David bloodlines.
They're fantastic.
They're mostly all good.
They're really pretty cool. So yeah, that's
Name
why I'm
is
like,
Iris.
you also know better. Yes, Iris the Deva. You're welcome to make their bloodline up because I was going to say you know more about Deva than I do, and there are too many good choices. I'd
The
end up
Zhao are
picking
great.
the less cool one in the end, otherwise.
There's nothing wrong with Toreadors either.
Of course,
They're a classic.
they are indeed.
I wonder if I should get a ghoul.
Could very well be an aspiration that you develop for yourself.
Very true.
Yeah, it's a brand new setting, a time to do things like get ghouls, perhaps see if you can get permissions for a childy, a children.
How about an Anvari?
I don't remember that one. Not off the top of my
The
head, at least.
opium addict.
Oh, possible.
Maybe she runs an opium den in the city somewhere. Or takes
Goodness
part in
knows.
one.
Yeah, goodness knows there are plenty of places to get high as fuck here. It's full of people. Absolutely chock-a-block with the bitches. Let's see here. Okay. Excellent. So we know generally what kind of missions you guys will be undertaking. Some characters that will need creating and inventing. Some rivals and enemies that I will get to occasionally spring on you.
Oh, by the way, were you okay with either of those ideas? Scout for the person my suit's in.
Sure, that sounds perfectly fine.
oh wait, I just got an idea for an ally.
I'm still working on the person I screwed over.
No rush. It'll be something that it'll be homework before next session, preferably at least a day or so before next session, just so that I can make sure everyone fits in case their involvement happens a lot earlier than expected.
Mhm.
All right then. I have 4 titles for you. It'll be effectively the name of your first jobs together in, actual game terms as opposed to out of character. We have Night at the Museum, I'm only going to give you these names, so you'll have to just fucking guess what they mean.
I have a quick clarification.
Sure.
Does Night at the Museum contain Owen Wilson?
It could.
Oh
Or,
my god.
I will not rule it out.
My question was going to be, is it night with a K?
It is actually the letter N, night. As in, it is nighttime.
Okay.
The next one is called Detroit Metal City. Waiting for the confused questions that never came. Excellent.
So
I don't want to leave this city though, so fuck
Oh,
Detroit.
no. It's still... It all happens in here.
Well, given that you said Detroit Metal City, that can only be music, which means we have to deal with, the black people and the Russian mob.
Possibly?
Oh,
Because
God.
given that you're a pun, Detroit Metal City, heavy black community, heavy metal.
Yeah, it's an
Detroit.
interesting direction to consider it.
Yeah. You love puns.
Yep. There's another one called House on the Hill.
What's not
that's
playing?
that's a
It's
reference
haunted.
to
Let's
a
not go.
story.
But
Let's
we
not
don't
go
go
to
to.
the cabin in the woods.
Yeah, we don't go to the house on the hill.
I'm pretty sure the last black guy they took to a place like that didn't turn out well.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm cool with the house on the hill because I deal with ghosts.
And indeed, you aren't afraid of no ghosts.
Yeah, like I get along good with ghosts, and I can trap them in peanut butter jars if they get uppity. I'm okay with haunted stuff.
Alright, and the last one is All Hail Pazuzu. Those are the 4 names of the potential missions that you'll be starting up or being introduced to next session. I'm wondering which name just fucking strikes you, because they're all something that you could get access to, but...
The first two I
The
like.
last one.
I personally vote Night at the Museum.
I like the first two.
Yeah, I like Night at the Museum.
I like the Detroit Metal City because industrial area and DCL.
Yeah.
So that's 3 votes for Museum, 2 votes for Detroit Metal City, 1 vote for Pazuzu.
I will rate them in order.
Sure.
I mean, technically, I voted twice.
Take your pick then.
If I had to pick, it would be Detroit Metal City, which will leave the museum and Detroit Metal City at a tie. I believe.
Mhm.
There's my votes.
Hey!
We should all vote multiple times.
Yeah, go for it. You can all order it if you would like. It might actually bring us to a head, because then also if I develop an order, then I can also just figure out all of these plot lines in order. But they are all literally like, you know when you're just sat back and there's nothing going on, your brain goes, hey, by the way, here's an idea. These are all those.
Oh, I see what you did there. Detroit Metal City,
I don't think you did, but okay.
DMC, Devil May Cry.
That might be why my brain
Just
thought of it in the very first place, because I don't know when these inspirations happen. They're all at very random times, but it could also be
Look,
wrong.
If we're going DMC, I need
sounds
the red
like-
jacket. And a
It
lot
It
of
sounds
pizza.
like DCL is gonna get to do some fucking fighting and there's gonna be
Does it-
gunfights.
You're given a new
Alternately-
weapon. This one has a motor in it for some fucking reason.
Alternately,
I
Vroom,
love it. No, that's should read the ally I gave. You should read it.
Oh god, alright, let's have a look. Okay, well, you're all picking.
alternately, DMC run the joint.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, she's probably got that.
Yes, I love it.
My thoughts on Detroit Metal City, it could either be like cyborg vampires, playing off of like Detroit Become Human and like cyberpunk, or like a group of like road warrior werewolves.
The Road Warrior.
That's like a specific lodge.
Oh, sorry. I did not mean to do that twice.
That's fine.
Sure you did.
Yeah, we got the same idea there. It's all nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
You only want our hail Pazuzu because you make you think of Pasuri.
Not
All hail
completely.
Pazuri.
I mean, that would be a cult I can get behind.
Oh, if you want Paizuri and you get Pazuzu instead, you're gonna be
Yo, you're in for a
upset.
fucking terrible time. Oh, Pazuzu. God, I know that turned, like, Pazuzu turned up in, like, absolutely just a nonsense place, completely unexpected, and I'm trying to remember what fucking cartoon it was.
Futurama.
No.
Yes, because the
It's not
Professor
what I'm
farts.
thinking of.
Oh.
Ghost Hunter?
No, actually, I do
I mean,
remember now. The
Ghost-
Futurama was close. If I remember rightly, it was Simpsons, and everyone was possessed, and he just starts screaming Pazuzu in circles and melting faces and shit with Maggie.
Oh, that's just because it's an Exorcist.
Yeah.
reference then.
Wasn't that from the Bad Exorcist one?
No, it's from the original.
Okay, never mind.
That's who possessed.
Ah!
God damn it! Oh, find the mute button.
It wouldn't be 1:15 without the phone call. Okay. From the looks of it, we're pretty close for Night in the Museum and Detroit Metal City. It looks.
Yeah, there's 2-2 so far.
Yeah. I find it interesting how Merz's ones are literally in the opposite order. Let's see here. Okay. It looks like the first one you'll be dealing with is Detroit Metal City. That should be an interesting time. I'm excited for it.
Ooh.
Okay. At least I know what to prepare for next session. And now we're at the point where I get to ask you guys if you just have questions or things you would like to insert, any of that shit. Any at all.
I kind of realize that the most fitting character description for DCL right now would be fucking Henchman 21 from Venture Bros.
I'd have to have watched more than like half an episode of Venture Bros, sadly, to know that.
Hey guys, that's kind of rude.
But
You don't get paid, right?
But do we know Vice yet?
Yes. Yeah, you helped her out when she was being hunted once, and then as is the natural, you're a group of quote unquote the adventurers, let's face it. She's been sort of dragged into getting involved with your coterie directly.
We just kind of accepted the fact that she was roped into the Scooby Gang.
Yeah, I mean it's basically how it happens every time.
It's like, yeah, you should just basically stop asking how it happens at this point.
We
You're
just know that it
right.
does. Something, hard work and friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, she by simple liberty of you doing one job to help her out and, you know, developing oaths and favors, she just got involved with a lot of you, and that's just sort of how it fucking goes.
It's just how the universe tends to work.
Yeah, it really is.
You stop questioning after the 12th time it happened.
Yes. I forgot to mention something that I personally fucking enjoy.
Sure.
For any time the group, as in whole, has met with Saul, he has had an eerily uncanny ability to remember everything about you and what has transpired.
Okay, then I would have to say there might be a thing where I try to get Saul involved in helping me hunt down the guy I'm trying to kill.
It's possible that Saul has helped you with leads before. They have resulted in them going dark eventually. They know that they are being hunted.
My only concern is that I wonder how well a Nosferatu will do as a tailor.
I mean, well enough if he stays away.
Okay. Obviously you are a night person, most people who come and get their suits done are, you know, like their day clientele. So you've probably got like, you know, you've got your shop fronters, you've got the faces. So people probably get their fittings done and all of that stuff. It just becomes down on you to, you know, perform the creation activity on your own. There's probably been a few rare times where people have actually wanted to see you, the owner. Indeed, one of those occasions was when the person you saved came to thank you personally for your suit having saved their life. And they were like, oof, that is an unfortunately hideous man.
That is a unfortunately scarred old Italian man.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you got caught by grease fire.
It's very true.
So have more vampires become of the word weeaboo because they keep using it as a insult against DCL when he has to come for them?
Yeah.
But boy,
You say weeaboo 3 times in a window, DCL appears and stabs you in the asshole.
Watch
but
DCL
boy,
start up
you
the
are a weeaboo.
Weeaboo bloodline.
Oh no.
No, you just hear
It already
you just
exists.
hear after they said weeaboo 3 times, the candles flicker out. There's flashes of light, and you just hear quietly, like a dissonant voice, be like, NASA, NASA, CQC, CQC, combat protocol, protocol,
I,
protocol,
s- I swear, guys,
447.
I use a katana not because it's weeby, but because it's official Nippon steel folded over 1,000 times, and it's more durable than anything else. Which in this game world is true.
Yeah, I
Boy,
mean,
if
like,
you-
an
if you-
actual katana made with modern metal is not a bad weapon. So the meme, you know, doesn't actually apply as hard as it used to.
Indeed.
Oh, the weeaboos are an
Modern day
offshoot of the
steel.
players. That's horrific. It's so mean. No, they're a
They
guy's,
like to
they're a guy's
pretend
gang.
that they come from like a long line of Asian bloodlines,
They
but
are
they
just
don't.
players, yeah.
It's just like a guy from Seattle.
His name
I've
is
made it
his name is Guy Jean.
I made it
Oh,
my personal
God.
duty to hunt down this guy, but I can't find him.
Or Guy Jean
Or
San.
Oh my god, it's even
Also,
worse.
alternately, DCL meets the Kindred of the East and just loses his shit.
No, I meet the Kindred of the East, and it's Miyamoto Musashi. He's fucking alive and just a vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he never went anywhere.
I would actually lose my shit at that.
Who knows?
And he is the kind of the crazy psychopath from Baki.
Oh my
Let's have a
god,
look at
even
this
better.
image. That's pretty fucking cool. I like
That
this
is pretty
cyber.
fucking
That's
sweet.
Oh,
pretty,
bruh.
pretty dope right there.
Was that like a Deus Ex kind of vampire? I
It's
like
because
that.
it's because hexagons, right? It always like you see hexagons, you're like, oh, it's Deus Ex cyberware, obviously.
Cyberpunk equals hexagons.
To be fair, I love the art style of Deus Ex, or at least the modern one.
That would actually be pretty cool. I'm just said. Turns out the original demon shogun Nobunaga is a vampire.
Oh my god, I'd be
Oh
both
my-
amazed and
I'm
terrified.
surprised that I haven't read that before somewhere.
I would be all for
Oh.
that. Fucking
I am
Oh,
loving this.
modern Onimusha. Come on, let's go.
DTL, check the next link. Holy shit, look at that. That's some good
It's
shit
very
right there.
cool.
This is
Yeah,
the
all-
shit you take on a mirror and do a fat line on.
Yeah, all the concept process.
I do enjoy
Such-
concept is happening.
I'll have to practice clothes
Yeah.
eventually, and I'll use this as one of the references when I do.
My
This is shit.
future arm.
And I'm getting cold. Give me a second.
Sure thing.
DCL is becoming the new me.
Yeah, speaking of then,
No,
does anyone
know,
else
that's
have
an
any more
impossibility.
questions and stuff that they want to know or bring up?
At what point do I upgrade from a fixed bicycle to an Italian moped?
Whenever you want to, you have an income now.
Yes.
I'm just imagining Gideon taking a driver's test.
God, he's just done like a teal Vespa.
What's your name again?
Hmm?
Oh yes,
Who?
Gideon. Your phone has been adjusted.
Oh.
Yes, because Saul saw that how you were dealing with your phone and be like, you're not too. You're not too. What's the word again?
Right?
Comfortable or experienced with the modern day technology.
He's
So it's
figured
been
out. Gideon
he
was
has figured
pretty.
out.
Gideon was pretty happy that he figured out how to play solitaire on his phone.
He
Oh,
has
you've retained stuff.
been
Give me a
simplified to
second.
make
You
it
also
easier.
have an NPC and others handout. Got the roses, ghouls. Does anyone else need resources like handouts and shit like that?
Resource handouts like what and shit.
For instance, Rose has a handful of ghouls and owns a business, so I've given Lily a handout so she can put their details and stuff in. Mers has a retainer and some staff, so she has a document that she can work in. Do any of you guys need things like that?
Well, for personal thing, then yes, it would be Saul's Ford.
Sure.
So Saul's Treasury, that sounds better.
Ah, of course, treasury. That's a strong one.
I mean, the Jewish accountant vampire needs his treasury.
There you are.
Oh yeah, could I use Saul to convert my florins to, I don't know, more modern funds?
That did not work properly.
Your florins turned into hard American moolah. That would be within Saul's wheelhouse, I imagine. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very hard at all.
You would like to mark it on your Saul's treasury thing. Although you obviously shouldn't use it, you have access to Gideon's old fortune.
Yes. Edit. Where is the right now?
I hadn't noticed that at first. That the personal emotes all look like way nicer now. Much better color scheme.
They look washed out.
Well, the old one was like that fucking. It was like orange on yellow. Instead, it's now an actual like brown on pale orange, which is much easier on the eyes to me. At the very least, it suits World of Darkness. It's all spooky and shit. Oh.
Yes. That would require several academical roles and investigation checks to find the best way to sort of launder this.
Yeah, that makes sense. It sounds like, that's within the wheelhouse of your connections. The money doesn't exist anywhere in reality, but it's still definitely there, and as a result of laundered florins.
Yeah, and otherwise, depending on the type what we're looking at, we're also gonna need to, in other case, if it can't do for finances for rarity and excavation and historical value, it can be melted down for its gold value.
Also true. Florins in of themselves, traditional, real ones, will actually be, worth a not inconsiderate amount of money.
Yes, because of their rarity. But if you have 10,000 of them,
oh well, of
that's
course
a
you gotta either eke them out bit by bit or sell them to different people at at the same time, far enough apart that they don't interact with each other. Because then you get to sell an entire bulk at its full value, and then that value immediately tanks, which is quite funny.
What I missed.
which also would need to wipe out the traces of the paperwork, so the backlash don't hit you if you do that.
Yep.
So,
Go ahead, Lisa.
so I have a question for Saul. Are we in the point where I keep trying to get favors for trying to figure out how to find my rival, and then you're just like, okay, but only if you do this for me, and I'm just like, but I don't want to, and you're like, shut up, money. Has that been a thing?
That is down to Hedra. Has Saul made DCL owe him for favors pertaining to chasing after his quarry?
Okay, the first 2 times be like, okay, I know who you are. It's like, okay, you know what? These ones are for free, and be like, okay. The third time you come, it's like, okay, no, I've been doing you for free. Like, no,
You're gathering
start
interest.
pay. Yes, like this. Now you're just gonna start paying me.
Okay, so I don't have to do favors. I just have to pay you.
True, but you might have to do favors to acquire that money in the first place because DCL is not independently wealthy.
Yeah.
You probably
Yeah,
do
man,
make
they-
a reasonable stipend off the bartender, but that's not
Yeah, I was about to-
exactly store money.
I was about to say, does she like
Yeah.
pay me for my job?
Yeah, I mean your living situation in and of itself is paid for. Like vampire living costs are only as high as they want to appear ostentatious. And you're DCL. I know full well that you do not want to appear to anyone as ostentatious. So your living is what is your rent?
Yeah, basically.
Question: does anyone want a suit?
I have a very, very even for Gideon. Gideon states the immaculate suit.
I guess I will get a suit at least. Another suit,
Standard,
more than just the one.
standard,
bulletproof.
or armored?
Armored, of course.
Always armored.
So yes,
Very
this is
charming.
I mean, if you want to get me a leather outfit,
I need a sunken rock battle suit.
that'd be
So I
alright.
can wear to war and can put it just put it in the washer
Goddamn
machine.
fucking Sunken Rock. I read that so many years ago.
I suppose I can get Rose like one of those like leather jackets with studs on the shoulders and like down the sleeves and stuff that just have some padding in it.
That's what she's already got. I mean, she'd want one of the armored ones.
Yes, I meant that, but more armored.
Yeah. Fortunately, armor does not stack, if I recall correctly.
Sort of no, but also I just looked up like Italian like strong leather jackets, and then literally got the jacket that Rose's character is literally this moment wearing. Just literally the titsless version. So it's entirely possible that jacket you are wearing right
Blow
now
up my
is
token.
Italian leather.
Just run around, no more shirt.
Look at that shit.
It's practically exact.
Load up more.
Zoom, enhance.
no.
I'm gonna move
the,
it
le-
in.
the quality
She's-
is different.
The quality is different, but yeah, like
Yeah.
The makers, the stitches are completely different, but it's close enough in visual.
yeah, it is entirely within reason that the very nice red leather jacket that Rose wears even nowadays is an Italian leather Gideon special. Okay, excellent. So, does anyone have any other questions? Happy to keep on answering them until we're done, and then we'll call it.
What was the conversation I missed? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, it was how did Saul move Gideon's money and turn it into hard cash? And there's, it's Florence, but they're only as worth anything if they're rare, right? There are obviously two ways to do it. You sell it bit by bit very slowly, or you sell it to lots of different people all at once at the correct price, but then you get to see the market crash immediately afterwards.
Yeah. And then once it dies out, if you do like that, you have to cover all the tax there. All
Yeah.
the paperwork just vanishes. The sellers are gone. Names are stricken from databases. And then you're left with melting out the gold out of them, separating the gold and silver.
Mm-hmm.
You know, DCL, I just had a wonderful idea.
Hmm.
Gideon is going to have a Vespa or a scooter, whatever the hell you want to call it. But it's also going to have an attachable sidecar, just in case you need to go somewhere.
I want to say my dignity would prevent me, but I know the universe will conspire
I-
against me anyways.
I think Darian would rather ride bitch with Rose.
I mean, at least then there's a hot girl.
It's true, and it's a crotch rocket as well, as opposed to a small Italian Vespa.
Like I
Okay.
said,
And it's okay.
How do I do pictures again so that they turn up in the chat?
Square brackets and then normal brackets, no spaces.
like I said, I
Well,
would
it
want
has to be a PNG or a GIF.
Or
I would
JPG.
want to avoid it. I would want to avoid it, but eventually
No,
the universe.
JPG doesn't show.
It does. That one is right there.
Mine
Does-
didn't.
Yeah, that image literally right there is a JPG.
Oh, it is. Ah, so they did add in JPG support.
I thought they started with it, but it might have been a later edition, yeah.
No, that is a later edition.
Nice
because, I
try.
always knew it
Nice
was
fucking
PNG.
try, except it's square brackets. Oh fuck, I'm just gonna just once again. Absolutely definitely not the first and probably not the last.
I can never get that right.
There you go. In the Discord
Square
chat, that's
bracket.
what it looks like. No spaces.
I assume there
Good
has
fucking
to be
try, though.
something in the square brackets because when I did it before, it did not work.
Correct. You need
Okay,
to put like a
the
letter
A.
in there.
Yeah, the A has to be in the square brackets and the link has to be in the clampy things. I've got the English word.
No more hero.
Hey.
Boop, boop.
See,
Nice fucking try again.
God fucking damn it.
I mean, clicking the A does still hot link, so it's fine. Wow, that is just hideous. I don't like. There's no way that thing goes in any direction but downhill. It does not
No,
have the
it doesn't
it does
work.
not have the power to lift two people up like a 30-degree incline.
Can you imagine just the sound that thing makes?
Oh, no.
The sound of
No,
satin.
no, that's a dog cart, okay?
Okay,
That's literally a dog cart.
I was about to say, on second thought, I might just get to the point where even if that's the only option and there's like a werewolf chasing me, I'll run.
I will run. I'll stick to feet. Thank you.
It's beat
I'm
feet.
about to fucking swim faster than this thing.
What?
Excellent.
It's Italian.
If you drive that thing around, you are gonna get made fun of by all the millennials.
Exactly, and then he just basically fears them, and they for some reason shut up.
It's a shame
'Cause the
because like
stereo-
Italian superbikes are also quite nice. But they are ruined
Yeah,
by
but
being
the difference
associated
is
with
they're
the
shit.
Vespa.
I like the idea of everybody at first making fun of Gideon's bike, but then after they make fun of him, he intimidates them, and now everybody's too afraid to say anything.
Well, he's also just a big fucking guy as well. So like, you make fun of him and then he climbs off of the Vespa, and you're like, oh wow, his knees must have been touching his fucking shoulders.
It's like fucking high tower out of a car.
He's a 6 foot.
No.
He's a 6 foot tall albino that's scarred the fuck up, and he's probably wearing a helmet with aviator goggles and a scarf, wearing a 3-piece Italian suit. He looks like he would fucking
Nope.
kill you.
Oh right, I
Don't forget your fucking pimp cane as well, which you literally can bitch slap them across the road with.
Yes, and the pimp cane that I can bitch slap someone across the road with.
Oh man, I
And then I hop back on my Vespa, go beep beep, and then just drive off.
That reminds me, I basically have a jacket full of knives.
You do.
You have a jacket and a special fucking salt knife, you dick.
The salt knife.
I have the salt knife, a
Yes.
katana, and a bunch of knives. Armed to the
When
teeth,
you
and
just have to stab something.
you just gotta stab them that extra good.
Indeed, you go full fucking Caesar on people.
Oh man, no, you don't understand. If I stabbed somebody in the back and the first thing they did was turn around and said "et tu," I'd fucking be like, "No way, I made a mistake."
What's
No,
this,
no, no. You
fuckboy?
stab them and then you hear "Mother, mother, Dane."
No, please, no. We could have been friends.
Yeah. Look, if y'all can find me a picture of a more modern scooter with a sidecar, I'd be more than interested.
There is none.
You know,
There
it's-
isn't. That is about as modern as a Vespa with a sidecar is ever going
No.
to get.
Don't
The
do a
problem
Vespa,
is
do
you
a
want a
classic,
scooter.
You know, German.
Yeah,
German
but
bike with
he's
sidebars. Those
far
are
too Italian for
awesome.
that.
Oh, like one of those little German bikes with a sidecar.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can do that. I can do
My
that.
gramps did a fucking just like multiple tours around Europe, motorbike and sidecar, and he's on like his fucking third heart or something in his sixth hip at this point.
Oh,
I'm
what was the
convinced
name?
one day he will just explode, just from a standing position now.
What's the name of that thing? Oh, right. Now remember. Was it that old? What was the name? Thompson, the old American motorbike.
Yeah.
Thompson, Morton,
Don't know it.
Okay, there was the.
Chieftain.
Oh, you're talking Indian. Indian
Was it
bikes were
Indian?
fucking. Indian bikes were sweet looking.
I thought you were a crotch rocket rider, not a chopper rider.
Yeah, but you don't put a sidecar on a crotch rocket.
It would be really funny. I'm now googling crotch rocket sidecar.
Oh, yes. I found it. Oh my god, this is beautiful.
Holy shit, they're ridiculous!
Wait, what?
Crotch rocket sidecars.
Okay, I want to see images of both of these things that you two have found.
Yes, you can-
Oh my god.
Did
That
you see the
looks like
first
something-
Yeah,
result?
the first result, the fucking yellow one.
The dog sidecar.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's
I'm
fucking
sorry,
adorable.
that looks like something that you just go around in a couple circles and then just
There.
eject the sidecar off.
Oh my god, the dog sidecar.
I love that so much.
There we go.
Here, the Indian. This fits. What's his name? Gideon.
That sure does actually fit his Oldman aesthetic. Presumably in black, but
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's
Of course, black and silver.
yeah, and it has a pretty decent engine as well. So
Actually, no, black
it's
and
not
dark.
like
Ooh, black and dark green.
It's not
Most
best.
colors.
Look at that hideous monstrosity.
What the fuck?
What the?
It's
balls
even
is
worse
that
from
thing?
how is the top down worse?
Oh,
I'm sorry, but it appears that your car has gained some kind of prolapsed
Uh,
hernia.
That is both a sidecar and a side motorcycle.
I mean, they actually took the word car too specifically.
that's
Sidecar cycle.
be strong for Clarence. brother.
Oh my god. This
Wow.
one seems to be similarly built. I don't know if that one would embed anyway.
oh my goodness me.
oh.
They're just ugly.
Oh my god, this thing is absolutely beautiful. I found what's it called a YouTube with it. The Indian with the sidecar. I totally recommend. Remiel will look on this.
Of
It's
course,
so beautiful.
the websites with these pictures are Japanese.
Yeah, they
That
are.
makes
All
so
of their
much
shit
sense.
is insane. I love Japanese biker gangs. 1 second. Open work mission notes. Japanese biker gang.
Yeah, Hot Wheelers.
Oh,
Two wheelers.
Ah shit, I have to run that tomorrow. Ah shit. Cause that's like when my payday is, but I want to squeeze in hours since I was dying today. But also, I gotta run because it's been 2 weeks. I think it's actually been 3. Either way, let's continue.
All right, now Hedra. Now
gonna
imagine
grab
that
my
bike
Yeah.
with black, with little chrome accents and like a dark metallic jade gray.
I mean,
Yeah, I can normally see this, and this one is a lot more powerful than a Vespa as well.
This cannot continue. Also, why did everything turn pink?
what do you mean, why did everything turn pink?
Okay, there's just a lot of pink on the map.
Oh, a lot, when I cleaned up the map, a lot of the, like, dots on the floor for, like titles and words and shit were all like just either lines or weird splodges, so I just did homogenized purple dots. Red dots, however, are places belonging to you guys specifically. Oh yeah, I need to change Gideon's shop one to
Okay, that makes more
red.
sense. I was confused for a moment.
Yeah. Shop is red. Purple on the way.
Ah, yes. So
Yeah,
this I see, Gideon. It's perfect.
I'm not going to even attempt to hot link that because I apparently am incapable.
Someone stole a war bomber.
That's a nice attempt to a B-52.
Yeah. So it doesn't look right without someone having painted a very awkward shark tooth across the side of it. You can imagine it, right?
Yeah, but they used the wrong fucking engine on the bike. It should be like, like an old Holly Knucklehead engine.
I would. Bikes are definitely more of the rest of my family specialty. You're right. The fucking car bike looks like something that Top Gear made. Oh my god, it really does. I know this was a total random off tangent. Has anyone got any other questions or stuff they want to add?
What was what I'm trying to? Given what's the word again? Given Saul's position of handling a lot of finances, because that's what he does. Just, and the fact that he never says anything.
Of course.
Yes, he gets access to some of the rather specialized, I would say, armaments.
I'm back.
In what context armament, sorry?
Of pistols.
Oh, right. So you would say that some of your money is tied up in like black arms?
Well, he more like the fact that his clientele really dislike loud noises, so he makes everything about himself as quiet as possible. That also involves his gun.
Of course, yes, sure.
Because it's really good to scare humans with.
Yeah, of course, that makes sense.
So, yeah, so I'm looking for specialized, pretty much fucking soundless weaponry, like literally modern day
a more modernized version of things like subsonic well rods and things like that.
Yes, everything.
Yeah.
Because right now, even Remiel, who's a slightly gun person, knows that you can get a can on a gun that you cannot hear the bullet go. Like with the gun, just a firing mechanism, the pin and the slide is louder than that.
That would only work for like maybe the first 2 shots. If it's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you fire in sequence, yes, the gas will start filling up faster and faster.
So stuff like more modernized versions of guns like that, then?
Among things, yes, I have some other ones there, especially, but yes, that's based on the British.
Correct, it's the well rod.
But a little more than just one and then clunk clunk.
Oh god, that's so sad. I just googled most suppressed weapons and it tried to autocomplete it to in Fortnite. We're in the worst timeline.
Indeed. This is worst. But yes, not.
Dear god, it turns up as most of the results as well. That's horrifying.
You know,
do minus Fortnite.
I find it weird that Fortnite hasn't really done anything on its own to be like disgusting or distasteful. It's just gotten so popular that we're sick of it now.
No, it's not the popularity. It's the fact that people who play it are shit. It's the whole culture around it.
I mean, the whole
disgusting.
The whole culture is mostly full of 12-year-olds, so like that's not even an ironic statement because it's so fucking popular with children.
Yeah, I feel anything that gets moderately big just develops a terrible culture just by virtue of numbers.
I mean, it does, but like,
No, I can actually give you an example where a culture around something has not gone bad.
I'm waiting for the punchline.
Mr. Rogers.
I mean,
I suppose so. Here you go.
Mm.
Pick two of them. You can own any two.
look, he's the exception to the rule, not the rule itself.
I would say there's not really a like a modern culture around him though. Like people are like, we love Mr. Rogers, but it's not like communities dedicated to Mr. Rogers around or
There's
not
also
popular.
there's also the
communities.
fact that it helps when you're not creating active content or still like in the
Exactly.
exactly. Because I mean, it's just like, say whatever you want about MLP. Its message was innocuous and it's just like, friendship and happiness, and then the fandom was like rampant sex and incest porn.
So you're saying it became the best thing, DCO?
I mean, shush. But
If you like
I was-
bronies, I guess.
I was trying to make the point, that even a fandom with a good message around it can just be utterly
Yeah,
like
they can become scum.
mutated just by virtue of popularity and numbers. But yeah,
Sure.
Fortnite's basically the most popular thing right now, and every
so
tournament-
as a result, the exposure to the people who are, well, people, particularly high right now. But yeah, Saul can own any two guns off that list, I suppose. Seems like a sensible enough list.
Or is he buying them off the hey bro, whoa.
Yeah, there's a fucking like gun dealer, bro, and he's very fucking Californians and shit.
It's all about that gluten-free lifestyle.
It's true. He only has artisanal shade-grown firing pins.
Oh my god, this is great. I was hating this, and then now I'm loving it.
No, he's actually in the Associates as Gun Bro, the most vociferous gun salesman. He sells
Dude.
guns, and he's a fucking bro.
He sells guns and he'll share some pot
Damn
with
right,
it.
bro.
It's true, right? As a guy.
Only got the most like locally sourced weed.
Oh, it's true. It's the fucking sweetest Kush.
I hate how well you do that when you're British. You shouldn't be able to do that well.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, that slipped a little.
Yeah, it did. I don't know the voice for it at the moment. It like doing that voice makes me want to cough, which is doesn't make it very easy to do.
Fair enough.
Should Gideon get a gun?
Does Gideon want or need or feel like he wants or needs a gun?
No, not particularly.
A beep.
Oh, and I,
Oh, this rate of fire, horrible.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's 5 rounds per minute.
Jeez, what?
Do you have to hand crank the bullets back into the chamber?
Yes, apparently.
Is the gunpowder being milled by small Asian fingers for you whilst you're still trying to load it?
I have no idea because I just clicked on the link that says on the well rod there.
Oh well, yeah.
And just-
The well rod is a bolt action pistol that you had to open up and feed a new round into. It was definite.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh
I
man,
know that, but
that's bad.
yeah, that's
I feel
some
like that's
of
too
these,
slow.
I know.
I feel like that's
Yes.
that's like they
Yes,
are
that's-
actually just incorrect about how fast that gun can be fired.
No, they're not wrong. The actual one was really low because you had to unscrew the back of it to pull out the to pull the bolt back, pull it forward, then re-screw it.
Oh yeah, fair enough then. Yeah,
I mean-
the old well rod classic.
Yes, there's
And
fair-
I pasted the one that I was referring to.
You're after a hush.
This one with the specialized CAD
It looks very
would
air
be hell of a
pistol.
lot. Oh no, that's not. It just
Look out! It's got
made
hexagons on it.
quiet.
I know
Yes,
it's cyberpunk.
Look out, guys!
no.
It's actually cyberpunk.
then
It's
it-
got hexagons. Oh boy. Okay. What kind of is Angelina armed in anyway? By the way, trained in any kinds of combat?
We lost per Mers.
She's here to type, so I think that she can still hear, or is she like not even in the thing now?
She's not even.
Oh, she's not even in the call. Okay, that's fine then. I believe then we will come close to wrapping it up. Are there any last questions?
I think Rose has traded out her shotgun at this point. It's been tied to too many crimes.
It has been tied to a lot of crimes. That said, it did do work on one of the occasions where you fired it with someone's direct bane.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't your shotgun that was horrible. It was Etienne's, not Etienne's. You're damn it. I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay, it was Etienne. Yeah, it was Etienne who had the bad friendly fire lock and shooting herself.
I shot her too, I think. So
it was bad times for her.
Yeah.
Etienne is just literally cursed. The poor girl.
So I think Rose will have swapped to a handgun.
Sure. I know that you needed to get taken out for like learning how to shoot gun.
Yeah. I don't think she's got any points in firearms yet, but no points in firearms.
No points in firearms. Awesome. Excellent. Glad you are not trusted with the gun that you have, but you have got a gun.
Would you trust someone with very little firearm experience? Would you trust them more with a pistol or a shotgun?
Oh,
because she had the shotgun for a while.
This is true. I don't know. I don't think I would trust her with either, especially when that person only has one fucking
but you
eye.
have to choose one.
You have to choose one. I think that you would be more. I think it's more a case for ammunition. Like if you're firing like fucking low velocity pistol rounds, then that. But if you're given a shotgun and it's just like fucking birdshot, then yeah, I trust more with that. It's less likely to murder me when things go wrong. And again, it's not just that you're untrained. You're untrained and you have one eye.
Yeah.
No one trusted you with a gun in the first place.
Yeah.
Or probably even if you got trained, ever will.
I mean, Solid Snake was a thing, but he was a fictional world where it didn't matter.
It's true. It's true. That perception never screwed him over. And then it became a special seeing eye patch, so it's okay.
But
to be fair,
if the thing I'm shooting is a ghost, I can see it just fine.
This is true.
Once you live with a limited depth of perception for a long enough period of time, your body learns to naturally compensate for it and ceases to be as big of a detriment.
It's true, but no one is going to trust them. If you have to choose two gunners to hold the gun, you choose the person with both working eyes.
Yes.
Just you wait until I get Mimetismo up to 4. I think it is.
You go the way you have
then
this,
I'm Daredevil.
walking one eye sonar. Like, in fact, I suppose, yeah, when your Mimetismo is high enough, you effectively still have depth perception because you can hear as far as you can see and place people on a map effectively with it. Good old Mimetismo. Alright. Any further questions?
Nope.
In which case then, since Mo's can't like even hop back in again, I've got stuff that I can get you all prepared for. I'm excited for the interestingness of Detroit Metal City.
Give me a sec.
Sure. You can have all the seconds he needs because we're about to wrap it up. So, my lovely days in the stream, I hope that you have had yourselves a lovely motherfucking good time. And please do take care.
By stream, by YouTube, like and subscribe.
And there we go. And done.